Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm all right. And yourself, say?
Okay. Um, Sorry for the wait. Okay. Is everyone connected? I see six guys. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. I can't seem to hear everyone speaking here. Hello.
Hi, yes, I'm connected.
Okay. This fine. I would like to welcome you all for attending this webinar. To get started, maybe I need like 2 minutes to get my things in order here, because right, um, this is just perfect now. Okay, cool. So my name is Trevor Mutisi, from MNJ Media team. I would like to thank you all for attending this webinar, and I would like to also introduce our panelist, Mr. Takuzwa Chorua. He'll be taking you over with the session and the topic of discussion today. And for starters, maybe we might also need to hear from you all guys, what you are into, where you specialize, areas of specialization and stuff, and probably get to know your expectations coming from this side of us. So maybe I'll start with Mr. Hendricks Zingirai. How are you, Mr. Hendricks? Uh, Mr. Hendricks, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Hendricks. Okay, I think I lost him there. Anyone would want to introduce himself, where you are and where you're coming from, then we get to start the session. Hello. Could it be a problem of our reception or your end as well? I don't seem to catch up with so many people here. Hello? Anyone? Anyone?
Hello.
Yes. Hello, how are you?
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Yes, I'm Terry here from NEC Food Allied Industries in accounting engine.
That's perfect. Thank you for coming in. I guess it seems like people are not in the speaking mode, and okay, so I'll ask Mr. Takuzwa Chorua. Mr. Takuzwa, are you there? Takuzwa?
Yes, Mr. Mtisi, how are you?
Yes, I'm okay. Over to you, sir, on this session. Can you kindly share the topic of the day and get to engage with the attendees?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Trevor. My name is Takuzwa, and I'll be taking you through the topic of the day. feel free to ask questions, and let's participate. Let's also share ideas, contributions, all welcome, as we'll be discussing the topic of what we need to do is we need to build timeless businesses. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. So Mr. Mtisi, may you
Yes.
kindly allow me to share my screen?
That's perfect. Okay, I think I'll, okay. I'm sure you can now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I would need someone to confirm whether you can now see my screen.
Yeah, I can see you.
Perfect. All right. So we have quite a number of systems or softwares that are available at your disposal. But for the sake of this demonstration or this discussion, I might be limited to just one package just to illustrate what I'll be discussing with you. But at the end of the day, what we need and what we can all agree is we cannot run away from the fact that the world is getting digitalized, and accounting is in no exception, and is also being affected by that changes and advancement that are happening in the technology world. So it is for us, the finance people, to be able to grasp and to move with the same pace that these advancements they are actually going, and so that we can capitalize on those to have efficiency in our field of expertise. Then you look at a situation that accounting or the accounts department, rather, or the finance department, if you want to term it that way, it's more like the backbone of every organization, or the engine, if I may use that term, because you'd rather actually see that whatever happens in each and every department in an organization, directly or indirectly, it will end in the accounts department, or it will be affected, or it will affect the accounts department. For example, we are saying the sales, whatever is going to happen in the sales department, it will then need to be accounted for in the accounts department. If the marketing guys, they implement or they invest in certain strategies, is the information from the accounts department that will be required to see whether and to evaluate whether that or those strategies are actually working, or we need to revise our marketing strategies. If you look at the human resource management side, the payroll, and the payroll will then affect again the accounts department. That information will also be affected or affect the accounts or finance team. So if the backbone of an organization or the engine of an organization doesn't function well, by default, we are doomed. By default, each and every department in that organization will be affected indirectly or directly. So in accounting, or we can all agree that we all need information for us to make decisions. We all need information for us to make it's not a matter of making decision, but are we making the correct decisions? So if we get the wrong information, we are going to make wrong information, and we are not going to be achieving our goals and targets as an organization, because we are going to make wrong strategies, We are going maybe to go away with strategies that were actually working for us because we do not have the information that this strategy is working. Or we can also take time to revise certain strategies. So as finance people, we are the advisors of the decision makers. We need to be on top of the situation. We should be able to have all that information with us. Then technology will now come into place now to assist us in terms of making or producing certain information. And there are two aspects that are most of paramount importance in terms of us as the finance people. We are looking at the accuracy of the information and the time we are going to take to produce that information. Those two keys are very much important in each and every organization. Like I highlighted, if the information is not accurate, we are going to make the wrong decision. But have you ever thought of it? You can have accurate information, but that information is then produced or is then passed to the decision maker maybe after a year or 2 years when it is no longer relevant, because the information has to be relevant. So in terms of, there should be a balance between the accuracy of the information and the time frame that we are going to take in terms of producing that information. Then we now need to rope in technology. We streamline our accounting processes with technology to assist us achieve those two goals. The production of information, which is accurate and on time as well. So, having said that, where the world is moving, data capturing in terms of manual data capturing is now time consuming. You're looking at a situation you might need to invest in a lot of time, because time is money. And in certain industry, you actually sell time. So you look at a situation, because even those that are going to be paid, they're going to be paid based on the time that they, and it's not only time that is important, but we also look at the productivity. You might spend the whole day, but there should be a balance between the time and productivity as well. So you're looking at the issue of automating your data entry, the source, because data entry is the source. So if we are to capture our information like manually, how long are we going to take? And is it going to work in consistency with our goal and our targets to produce information and to produce reports timelessly that are also accurate? We are looking at a situation that we have human beings, and human beings, they do make errors. But in terms of automated data entries, these systems, they are being developed and they are being updated each and every day so that we do automate our transaction. Transactions are recorded at the point of entry. You're looking, for example, I have this accounting package that I'm showing you right now. We can have this module of a point of sale, right? We are saying a transaction has actually happened during the point of sale, and there is an acknowledgement of a receipt. Transactions are being processed, and these modules, they do communicate with each other. And we are saying you can have even your customized dashboard to get quick information without even getting into reports and detailed reports. You can have customized dashboards every time you log into the system, but this dashboard, you can never get it on a manual sheet. You would need, or you would require a certain person that is doing the capturing to produce a report, or you would need to call someone who is responsible for that area, for example, the sales side, to get to give you figures, whether those figures are accurate or they are wrong. It will take much time for you to get to identify, even if you're being given the wrong information. But technology will now help you to automate all these transactions. A transaction has been recorded in the point of sale. Automatically, if that transaction affects a number of modules or a number of general ledger accounts, the system will get to do that for you. Number one, you have reduced the time. Number two, you have achieved the issue of efficiency. Number one, I'm talking about the efficiency. And number two, I'm talking about the issue of accuracy, because transactions are being updated in real time. And these customized dashboard, you can actually get to see from wherever you are what's really happening on the ground for today, for this month, for this current financial year. How are we performing? These customized dashboard will give you quick information. That's how you can make use of technology. You are able to make even quick and informed decision just from looking at the dashboard without getting into much details or generating reports or calling someone what's happening at work. And even if there are decisions that needs to be done, you are able to make these decisions. You can have an oversight view of the whole organization, what's really happening on your phone, on your gadget. Then you can have this dashboard, even if it is not an overview. You can limit those dashboards to certain sectors or certain areas which you do have rights to access. Because we are looking at a situation with the manual processing that we do in our organizations, there is no restrictions in terms of information sometimes. Because as long as information is there on the file, if those files are not secured, it means anyone can have access to that information and important information. And those sensitive information, and we do agree, all of us, that in terms of accounting information, sometimes it is highly confidential, and you wouldn't want that information to get in the wrong hands. So with system, with technology, you are able to restrict, you are able to detect what this user can do and cannot do, what this user can see and cannot see. I don't know if we are together or if these things that I'm talking about are familiar in our organization. Hello, everyone.
Hello, yes, Takudzwa, we are following.
Thank you. Okay.
Takudzwa?
Right. Hello, sir.
Takudzwa? Yeah, we are following. Most of the
Okay,
things are familiar with what we see within our organizations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for what you are doing right now.
Thank you. So I'll quickly even highlight on this. Sorry about that. Okay, just a moment. Okay. All right. So as I was saying on the dashboard, I'll quickly take you through certain areas that you can make use of when you be applying even your accounting packages, how you can customize your dashboard, which information is important for you to make quick decisions. So you should have those information on your fingertips in terms of the kind of information that you really require. For example, we are looking at a situation of the performance, right? Many organizations, we end up in trouble because decisions they are made haphazardly. We do not plan. We do not even know what's going to happen to our organization or in our various departments in the next week, in the next month, even the year, what our plans even for the next year. And even if some of us, we do have plans and budgets, how are we tracking those budgets? How are we operating in line or within the limitations of our budgets? Because we end up overspending sometimes. Sometimes we make quick and excited decisions. We end up pumping out money. We are ending up affecting our working capitals because of the decision that we make. But automated systems now, because this information is being updated in real time, you can track of your performance in terms of the targets that you want to reach. The quick question that I would ask, we do have the salespeople. Do they even know or do they even have in their clients' databases? Sometimes it's just a matter of a salesperson having all the contacts, all the information of their clients in their personal phones. And that employee, as soon as he or she retires or resigns, we are doomed. We do not even know where to start. But with these packages, you are able to keep track of your database, for example. And the question that I wanted to ask when I was talking about the planning side, do we even know how much we are expecting from one of our clients during this month? We might end up realizing it later on that this client, in terms of the volumes that he or she has been purchasing to us, has actually declined. And later on, when you try to engage that client, you might even be, it will be actually maybe late. Maybe another competitor is actually offered better services than what you are offering as well. So we are looking at a situation that these are automated systems. They assist you even to track your customer side. I've talked about the database, all the information that is related to your customers, who are the contact details, the phone numbers, every information that you would want, really, which is related to that particular customer. But we are looking at a situation that you might also set up your own targets as well. The revenue that you're expecting from that client for each and every month. We're saying for each and every month, you can have targets set for your clients. And it helps you now to assess each and every month. In the month of March, how much did we got from our client, the actual performance? And if there are areas you feel that you need to engage a client, you can engage your client quickly. Us as the finance people, we can now inform the sales and marketing department from the trend that we are noticing from our client ABC in terms of the volume. They are actually declining. Can you engage this client and see whether there are areas that he or she feels that we need to improve, or if our client is actually facing any challenges? So those continuous engagements with our clients will always increase our revenue. So, but that information has come from the accounts or the finance team through these systems. But imagine how you have a database of over 100 or 500 clients that you would need to track, maybe on Excel, maybe you need to track through your head. How are you going to even get to see or to quickly have information that there is a client that is stopped from purchasing from us, or that is actually reduced in terms the volumes that he or she deals with us. So is those information that is necessary that we can get the assistance, and we can make use of technology to make our life so much easier as finance people. The system will get to do the work for you, and you get the intended information, and you pass it on to the relevant decision makers, and everything will be flowing. We are looking even at contracts. Where are we keeping our contracts with our clients? Do we even have contracts? When disputes, they will arise in terms of the payments and everything. It will be the word of the accounts people, or the one that will be doing the data follow-ups. Or even if a new employee is to come in, he or she wasn't there when an agreement with the client was done, he or she can quickly jump into the system. You get to see the contract and everything. So this is the type of information that we need. The system will be tracking all that information in terms of the planning, in terms of keeping your database with your clients. And we are looking at a situation that the accounts pay receivable side, like I was saying, we have certain areas that we might want to make use of. We are looking at a situation that you might need to send bulk quotations to our clients. Instead of entering those quotations one by one, sending them one by one, we are looking at, we need to improve our efficiency. These systems, they can assist you in terms of that. Do we even have a record of our salespeople? Do we even have categories of our clients? How do we categorize our retail and our wholesale customers? Do we even offer discounts? And every time when you would want to offer a discount to a client, you have to look for your calculator, your phone to calculate, and it's time consuming. And sometimes you are prone to make certain mistakes, but you can have all these automated through technology, through these packages. So that, for example, you are saying if a client purchases from this quantity to that quantity, he or she will be entitled to a certain discount, and the system will be able to pick that from the quantities that would have been purchased by a certain client. And again, if you look at all these functionalities that we are talking about, they are promoting those two key points that I mentioned earlier, that is the accuracy of information and the time frame in terms of producing information, as information will be updated in real time. Any questions, any contributions? Hello, people. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Yes, I proceed. We are learning about your
Okay,
systems.
thank you. Thank you. Right. Just like the sales cycle, it is of paramount importance as well to keep track of our suppliers as well. Because if our suppliers were not well managed, we would have actually affected ourselves in terms of the supply chain. And at the end of the day, it's the client that is going to suffer. So all that has to be done timeously in terms of the procurement side, in terms of the payment side, in terms of the receiving. And if you look at a situation, you're looking at a situation that you have done the procurement, and after doing the procurement process, you're going to do manually even the inventory side. But with systems, we are saying the moment you just capture a GRV, or the moment you just capture an invoice from the supplier, automatically, if that invoice affects the inventory side of things, you do not need to waste time updating the inventory side as well. The system will automatically pick from what you would have captured from our suppliers. In terms of even the requisitions, how is our process flow? We as finance people or as entrepreneurs, we have a tendency of skipping certain expenses or even not recording certain expenses. It's quite familiar that you might just buy airtime through your phone or through the mobile banking, but those transactions, they might look insignificant, but if they are aggregated, they might have a huge impact that you might not even notice because you are not recording them. So now systems, they are put in place to have controls that would actually assist you in terms of making sure that everything has been recorded. Firstly, we are looking at a situation of requisitions. You can set up requisitions in the system. Sometimes we might do it manually, that we need to write the time that you're going to take completing a requisition form. You're going to move from one office to another, trying to look for signatories to approve that requisition. And again, maybe the last signatory is tied up in a certain meeting or is not even at work during that day. Maybe you have to drive to the location that he or she is at, and you get your requisition being approved. But we are saying with technology, let's automate all these processes by making use of these systems. We are looking at a situation that someone just need to initiate a transaction. Before that transaction is done, a notification will now be sent to those that do have rights to approve in the system. They will actually pop up even on their dashboards that you do have approvals that you need to do. For example, the purchase requisition, like I was highlighting, there is a certain item that needs to be purchased. And if you are satisfied as an approver that everything is above board, you can just approve by just clicking, and a notification is sent back to the initiator of that transaction. And you do not now need to capture that transaction again in the system. The system can be automated to post, for example, if it is an expense, the system would now know, for example, it was stationery that was being purchased, a requisition for stationery was done, a requisition for stationery was approved. So if that stationery has been bought, the system will now then post for you in this printing and stationery account for you. Again, you're reaching your goal to have automated accurate information, and you have saved your time as well. Then in terms of the inventory side as well, if inventory is not managed well in an organization, you might have a situation that a person might be going home or taking something from the inventory, maybe that is worth $10 each and every day. It might look insignificant as well, but over time, over a certain period of time, that $10, you're saying, for example, after 30 days of the month, that's 300 USD. Then on top of that, you're going maybe to give that individual again, maybe 300-400 USD as salary. Already you've increased that salary of that individual to around 700 or so. But this is just one person we are talking about. What if it is a syndicate that each one of them, they have got a syndicate of 5 or so people that are going each with 10 USD each and every time, or they are taking inventory that is worth that much each and every time? How much our organization losing because we are failing to pick that through manual processes? Because sometimes we have quite a number of inventory in our system that we need to manage, and we are going to wait for maybe the month end to do the stock taking before we notice that there are variances that are in place. And the process that we are going to take in terms of investigating those variances, sometimes the evidence would have been destroyed and you do not have anywhere to look for, and the company end up losing. But we are saying with these systems, before inventory is issued out, you can have controls that put in place, and the system will have restrictions based on the controls that would have put in place. For example, we can talk of inventory issue requisitions. We can talk of internal issues. For example, we want to issue stationery to a certain department. You can have that as well in the system as control measures. Again, you can have multiple locations of inventory. You would want to know what's happening in each and every branch. You would want to know what's happening in terms of your stock. Is this inventory still available in our Boredale branch or in our Sape branch? You can have all that information without even phoning anyone from the system. And the system will get to automate even in terms of reorder points. Sometimes we can get to realize that we have run out of stock items before we have noticed it, even after a client has made an inquiry or has made an intention to purchase or to buy from us. But with systems, we are saying it will make your life easier. Notifications will be sent to you. You are now running out of stock items based on the minimum reorder points that you would have set. Again, you can even set the maximum reorder points. There isn't any point. We are the advisors of organization. You can have a situation of clients that will suffer in terms of cash flows because they have their resources of their working capital piled in non-moving stock items. So you can also eliminate that through the system by having maximum reorder points in the system. All that can be automated in the system. And okay, just a moment. All right. You can have your inventory categorized by certain categories as well. By categories, we are saying, for example, we might have hardwares and tools. We can have other categories that you might think of to classify our inventory items. Just imagine how long it is going to take you to adjust prices for each and every stock item. But you can choose to just adjust stock items by category in terms of their prices. You can offer discounts per category at once from the system. The system allows you to do that. So you can also track, like I was saying, by location. And you can have, maybe you are into a certain industry where you would require containers. I'll give you a very good example of maybe Lobels or Baker's Inn. They know that 1 crate of bread, it will contain so much loaves. So the system will now get to track every time you are going to make a transaction with a certain number of items. It will then pick again the number of containers that are required for the packaging side as well. You can get to track all that from the system, and the system is actually helping you out in terms of managing your containers and tracking those containers as well. Where have you allocated those resources to? This is the kind of information that we need, that we can get at any given time. I don't know if we have any questions, contributions so far.
We are
Hello,
following.
people.
No questions from this end.
Thank you. Right. We are looking at a situation that sometimes we might take stocks from one area to another, from one location to another, but those transactions, they might end up being skipped and recorded, and one stock controller has got a shortage and everything. But with systems, we are saying you can have those transfers. You can track even your goods that will be in transit that would have been transferred, but you haven't received them. And in terms of your stock taking processes, right, you can have your system to easy your stock taking processes, right? The good thing about the system, right, you can have your physical account, you just put your figures on Excel, and you can just import your actual figures, and the system will compare the theoretical for you and will calculate the variance for you. For example, I can just say we have 56 on this one, and the system, as you can see, it will automatically calculate the variance for you. You would save time in terms of the time you're going to take updating each and every stock item. You have accurate information, because sometimes a human being, if he or she is overwhelmed with a lot of information, he or she is prone to make a lot of mistakes. And you can choose to do these stock items, you group them. Do you want to do them for each and every location or for each and every warehouse? Do you want to do a stock take for each and every category? Like I said, you can have your hardware, you can have your tools, depending with the nature of inventory that you deal with. These systems can actually assist you to do your stock taking processes. And the moment that I'll just record, the information will be now recorded. So this information will now be recorded. So we are saying, let's have systems to assist us in terms of easing the stock taking processes, in terms of having these checks and balance, in terms of managing the inventory side of things. You can also even do your manufacturing from the system. So many times by systems, they encourage you to have what we call standards. You can have 5 or 10 branches. But if you get to track whenever you'll be doing things manually, most of the times, the results that you would get from manufacturing, if you're maybe into manufacturing, from one branch, you might see maybe a very huge variance. But with system, it now assists you in terms of managing your raw materials and your finished commodities. It will assist you in stock assemblies. It will assist you even with production schedule. We do not even plan our production schedule. The moment we do plan, the system would now, based on the production plan, will now get into your inventory module for you. Are the stocks that are required for us to make up those finished commodities even available? Sometimes we are into manufacturing. We have people that are ready to do production. Then during the time of production, we then notice that we do not have enough quantities of raw materials that are needed for us to do this stock, the manufacturing, I mean. So this will work in hand with the manufacturing module for you. And we have certain things that we take to overlook when you'll be costing our products. We have things like labor. We have things like machinery. If we have machineries that we channel towards the production of those finished commodities. So those overheads, we tend to overlook them when we get to just look at the direct raw materials, the cost of the direct materials. So you might end up even undercharging your finished commodities. But we are saying with systems, you do not have to have a headache. How am I going to cost my product? How am I going to factor in all those elements, electricity, labor, that are also involved in the production? The system is now doing the job costings for you. And again, you are able to track even your process flows, because sometimes manufacturing is not as straightforward as we might think, that we just take these raw materials and we have finished commodities. Maybe that item has to go through a number of processes before it is produced as a finished commodities. The system has to be able to track the process flows, how many percentage in terms of completeness of your raw materials, what is now needed to be done to this raw material or this unfinished commodity in terms of work in progress, what which items are still in progress that haven't been finished, and you get to track and have a check and balance in terms of your production guys, the time that they are going to take in terms of producing all those items. You need to have that information and advise accordingly. Maybe our process flows, they are not up there. We are taking more than time, more than the needed time to complete our jobs and our process flows. And if you are to do that, all that manually, again, to track the process flows, you would need a human being. We are saying, let's move away from relying more on human beings and rely more on systems. Because we are saying a human being can just wake up one day, is not there. He's or she's sick. He has decided to join another company. But if we have information in the system, we are going to achieve our goals. And in terms of continuity of our organizations, everything is up to scratch. And again, these systems, they cover all business areas and business sectors. You might have areas where you do process invoicing. For example, we have garages where a motor vehicle has to go through certain processes or certain stages during the servicing process. You can do job invoicing, the process flow, the system. For example, if you are charging per hour, the number of hours that it is spent in this section, the system will automatically invoice. When it has reached another stage, cumulatively, the system will be invoicing for you. But manually, it's going to be difficult to track all that. We are saying, let's have an integrated system. Let's do away with manuals. Let's do away with disjointed systems. You have all the functionalities of your systems incorporated in one system, the sales and marketing, the accounting, you have all that information with you. The projects team, you need to track all your projects as well. And the costing of your projects. How are your projects moving on? Do you have a report for each and every project? Or we are just doing our projects? Then as long as we have seen some cash, then we are satisfied with that. Do we even have where we can check what we're expecting from this project? What have we actually got from this project in terms of our budget for that project, in terms of the stages that are going to be involved, in terms of the flow of that project? Which stage are we now at? In terms of the payment schedule, in terms of even the contracts for that project, in terms of problem logs. For example, we can have someone at the field, he has encountered a problem. By just logging that problem in the system, relevant people who should be attending to that problem will see it in real time, and we reduce the turnaround time to solve our problems, and we we complete our projects on time. Do we even know the resources that we are going to be channeling towards that project? Imagine having to track all these through Excel. But with system, we are looking at a situation with technology, everything is simplified for you. You can get that information quickly, and as it be updated in real time, you are guaranteed of the accuracy of that information to make informed decisions. Then another mistake maybe that we usually do, we do not keep track even of our fixed asset. Do we even know who is responsible for that asset? Do we even know the location of that asset, the conditions of those assets, the depreciation? Imagine as the finance people get to calculate the depreciation each and every month or at the end of the year, but we can have that automated in the system. The system can have all that for you. The location of that asset, the information, the status of that asset, the depreciation processes. You can have the system running and calculating your depreciation from the background. You can state that our depreciation policy, we calculate depreciation every month. So each and every month, you can say at the end of each and every month, the system will get to automate these processes for you. For example, you won't be able to spend much time calculating depreciation for each and every item that we do have, or each and every asset that we have as an organization. All this is made easy through technology. All this is made easy through these accounting packages for you. Even your data side, it's high time we move away even from for calling each and every client one after the other. We can have our data collection processes automated from the system based on our terms and conditions that we would have agreed with our clients. So the system will get to pick all the overdue or unpaid invoices based on the customized messages that you would have customized. The system will send bulk messages to all those clients. We are saying even the marketing side, you want to have your clients notified that you are running a promotion, you are offering a discount, there are new products that are coming in. You can have all that automated through technology by just clicking one button, and everyone in your database has that information, and everyone that is supposed to be paying you has been sent a payment reminder through all these functionalities that you can get, that you can make use in the finance sector. I don't know if we have questions, contributions. I think I've preached much. Hello, people.
Thank you. Yeah, we are hearing you. Please continue.
Okay. Sorry.
I just wanted to ask on the bulky, send the bulky SMS up.
Sure.
Is it we also need to add our service provider, right? For the SMS sending.
Sure. Yeah, you need to have that. But one functionality that might not need your service provider, it will be through the email, bulk emailing. You can have a bulk email. As long as you have an email address in your database, you can just send bulk emails to your clients, your suppliers, or anyone in your database. But the SMS side, you need to involve your service provider.
Okay, it's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know any other questions, areas of concerns that you might feel that you need some clarity on.
Am I in?
Yes, we can hear you.
You said depending on the arrangement or agreement with your clients in terms of these follow-up SMSs and emails, what are the chances, say, of being blocked we have agreed, and then
Mm,
probably they just decide to block you. Will the system be able to detect that messages are not going through because you are blocked?
Okay, it has a delivery functionality. So all you have after the bulk message has been sent, you have a log of delivered messages as well.
Oh, so you can actually tell from there that the message has been delivered.
Yes, the messages has been delivered. So there is a log that is generated by the system for you.
By the system.
Yes.
And then if you are blocked, obviously, you then go do it manually.
Manual, yes, but the system would have done the first step for you. And sometimes you can even choose even from to just send payment reminders even prior to the due date. So it's optional. Yes, you can have maybe a customized messages. For example, you can say a first message is sent maybe 7 days before the due date. It has a different message. Maybe it's just a polite reminder that the payment date is now fast approaching. You're left with 7 days to settle your account. Then you can have another message scheduled for the actual date the payment is now due. Then you can now have even those messages that will be sent maybe 7 days, 30 days, 60 days. So the system will be picking based on the age analysis summary for our customers in terms of how long they have been owing us.
Okay.
And in terms of our customers as well, we are saying when you'll be creating your customer, you set up your for example, if you offer on account, we are saying the first thing you can set a limit in terms of their credit facility, so that as a control measure. So every time you'll be processing something that involves that particular customer, the system will tell you in terms of the available credit balance that they do have at any given time. For example, you can say they should not exceed 100,000. So at any given time, for example, today they make a purchase of 20,000. The next time I'm going to do another transaction, the system will tell me that this client is remaining with 80,000 based on the credit limit. And every time I would want to exceed the credit limit, depending with how you want your account to be set up, you either choose not to allow that transaction to go on, or either just to send you a warning that this client has exceeded the limit, or you can choose that it will require certain users in the system to override the limit for you. Then you can also set even your payment terms for that particular or individual client. Do we give 30 days, 7 days accounts, depending with the agreement that you have with your client?
Wow, thank you. Thank you. It's only that I came late and I missed maybe the bulk of the presentation, but otherwise, thank you so far.
No, that's okay. Say if you feel that you also need maybe a comprehensive demonstration of the system that is customized in line with your business, feel free to contact us to leave your information so that we can arrange a meeting and we get to present for you in a customized demo.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll probably do that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Any other contribution, question? Hello, people. All right. So if there are no any other question, maybe just to wrap up this discussion and presentation, the most important thing or anything that we are going to be doing in terms of our transaction, everything else will end up at the reporting section. So you should be able to have quick and readily available reports. You should not have accountants or finance people that will spend the half of the night in the office trying to come up with reports. Technology has made that easier for us. Every time a transaction is being done, our reports are being updated in real time. So it's just a matter of in a second, in a minute, to print, to actually generate your reports. You can then send these reports even via email. You can, because we are saying even with systems, you can choose to see even your reports in any currency. For example, in Zim, we are using multi-currency. Sometimes you have to make decisions based on the, for example, the tech side, the Zim dollar or the ZWL. But for performance side, you want to get an actual or a detailed report in terms of our performance. The system should be able to make that easier for you to just change your the reporting currency of your for that particular report. You can choose to see that report in different currencies rather than first exporting to Excel, then you do it manually. So the system will get to do that for you, and you should be able to just email those reports from the system. You should be able to just print them and forward it to the relevant people. You should also be able even to save them as PDF, as Excel, or Word documents. These functionalities, they have been made easier for you through technology. Consolidation. We can agree as finance people or as business owners that it's one of the most complicated or one of the most time-consuming process that we can ever encounter. So we need system that can actually do consolidations of our companies. Sorry, Mr. MTC, may you kindly mute your mic?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. So we are saying to reduce that time in terms of consolidating, you might decide to venture into a separate business, you open another company, you have to manage all those companies. But in terms of the cost now, it's costly to have those accounts run separately, or have people, each and every individual running the finances of the accounts. Then you would require another person who would actually do the consolidation of all your companies. But we're saying with technology, fine, you have created, you can close this company, you can get or log in into another company. But at the end of the day, you should be able to just consolidate your reports from the system. These are all reports. And one sensitive also area that can destroy a company is the tech side. So you are VAT registered. You need to know how much is due to Zimra in terms of the VAT payable. You should have a system that should be able to track your VAT for you, your taxes for you. And this has been made easier, and tax hasn't been an easy area in the finance areas. That's why we end up even requiring the services of tax law experts to get to prepare these returns. But you need information for you to, the first thing, you need information for you to prepare those returns. The moment you're going to prepare a wrong return based on wrong information, you risk being garnished by Zimra, you risk being penalized. by Zimra. But with system, every transaction through automation, the tax reports are updated for you, and you can have those reports for the periods that you can require. The budgets, checking our actual performance against our intended performance or our targets. So these reports, they should be able to come in any format, and the format to customize them in a way that will give you the intended information for you to make informed decision. So just to wrap up, these you can also come have accounting packages that have business intelligence tools to analyze, give you statistics and advanced analysis of the actual performance of your business. As a business owner, as a finance person, you are required to produce these analysis reports, those statistics. It should not take you time, it should not take you a whole week. You risk maybe missing deadlines and your job is on the line, or decisions, they are made quite late. So these tools and functionalities, let's all enhance technology and make the finance field an interesting area to be into, or rather what historically was in terms of depression. You end up being depressed, you end up being stressed, you end up being drained because of the amount of work that needs to be done, because you are the backbone of the organization and everyone relies on you. So if there are no any other questions, this leaves me to thank you all for joining and your time. Please feel free, even if you would require a customized demo of any system, because doesn't matter the size of an organization, but what matters is the foundation. In you grow with the system and you get a package that actually suits your operating process flows and actually suits your needs from a system. So there are quite a number of packages that are available. So please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We are available for you to offer a free customized demo that actually tackles all the areas that we would have highlighted, and that would actually make sense, making reference to your line of business. Thank you so much for joining. I don't know if there are no any other questions before I hand this time back to Mr. Mtisi.
Thank you. Personally, no more questions.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mtisi, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for participating in this webinar. Hopefully, in the time to come, we'll also host another one, and we'll let you post it on the new event that will come up. Once again, I will have to say thank you so much for the insight. Thank you so much, Mr. Taku Chorua. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.